days ago, I posted some pictures of a house that I've been working on social media, and I wanted to kind of give a tour of the house. That's why I'm standing in a closet and show you kind of the things that you didn't know about the house when you were looking at the pictures online. This is the first closet, small bedroom, average size bedroom. It's just one of the, it would be like a kid's room in a regular house. Nothing real special or real fancy about it, but it's a new house, so of course it's something. We leave that bedroom, come into the second bedroom. Second bedroom's kind of the same thing. It's a little bit larger. The view out of these bedrooms is kind of cool. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but nice view of the mountains right there where you're looking. You can't really see it. Is the runway, and that's only about, it's about a quarter of a mile from here. That's a private little airfield. It's a neighborhood. All the houses have hangars on them, and it's kind of cool. You can watch planes land and take off and stuff from right here in the bedroom. But a really good view of those mountains over there in the city of Laughlin. We have monsoon storms this time of year, and when those thunderstorms roll over those mountains over there, it's pretty spectacular sometimes. So this here, there's kind of a little story about this weird hallway to nothing. Originally that was from right here at this door. There was a walk-in closet for the master bedroom, which is behind this wall. We thought we were gonna have some issues with the AC system by doing that, and so we took the closet out, we put a window in there for some extra light, and we ended up with this kind of odd hallway, but it is what it is. Now there's some extra light in here. Master bedroom. This is a nice sized room. It's like 14 feet square. So we moved the closet over to right here, and that does two purposes. That hides the structure of the building, which you can see here. I'll explain more about that in a bit too. Closet hides that, and you can see that there. This room, like I say, it's a nice size. The house is real comfortable. Master bathroom. If you know my wife Amy, you know that she's into home decor and vintage furniture and vintage styling of all things home. So what we did is we took some vintage furniture, which I don't know how old this is, but it's old. It's real old. So the vanities in all the bathrooms are a different piece of vintage furniture. She's responsible basically for all the tile, basically she designs things, she tells me what to build, and I build it. So there's another door out of the master bathroom into this hallway, which you can see goes downstairs. There's a little powder room here, which I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's very small. Same thing. This vintage piece of furniture is actually floating. It's bolted to the wall, and it's about, I don't know if you can see that, it's about 5 or 6 inches off the floor there. Vessel sink. I hate these faucets. They make a huge mess. They're not fun. So that's the powder room. Another one of my wife's deals, she likes the quirky, so I actually like them too, I can't lie. The lights look kind of cool. Those came from IKEA. The stairs here, I built and then I rebuilt them. I built the stairs before I framed the building. So we wanted this exposed ceiling down here. So you have all the exposed duct for the AC system. But all these TJIs, all these joists are exposed in one sheetrock there. We wanted kind of an industrial vibe. I built these steel beams. That's what carries basically the whole load of the second floor. After all the 4 walls were framed, I stood these beams, and the stair bolts to right here, bolts to this beam. So there's 2 big beams. They're like 14-inch tall beams, and they're supported by these steel columns. There's large, like 3 foot by 3 foot concrete footings underneath them. That's basically what supports the entire second floor. So built the walls, stood the beams, bolted the stairs up. Well, we ended up with not enough headroom there. You didn't hit your head, but it was too close. It wouldn't meet code, and so I had to take the stairs out, and I took them back to my shop at my house. I had to cut all the stairs down and move them and shorten it up to where it's as steep as I could get it legally. But now I have the headroom that I needed. So the stairs, they kind of suffered a little bit. You can see that where I cut them apart, you can see there's kind of some scars on them, but I didn't want to rebuild them completely out of all new material. So it leaves a little story anyways. We say it adds character. So that's kind of the whole house. This is the living room here, and not much to say about that because it's just a living room. The big lights here, again, that's from IKEA too, and they're really reasonable. I think they're like 45 bucks a piece or something for these big giant lights. They're like 16 inches. They're really cool. So we have this giant table, baker's table. It was actually in a bakery, and several people would work around the table. It probably weighs 1,000 pounds. It's huge. It's 5 feet wide and 12 feet long. So these lights here, you'll see later, I'll do another video, but you'll see later that those lights are centered on this giant table. So that tells you how big the table is. So that table is going to be kind of part of the workspace of the kitchen also. So it comes to about here when it's in. We put power, everything. So kitchen's kind of funky right now because it's just a kitchen on a wall. Normally that's not a real functional kitchen, but with the design that we had, the kind of modern industrial type design, it works. It makes a nice looking kitchen. Cabinets are also from IKEA. I think it's like $700 for the whole kitchen from cabinets. The appliances are GE. It's hard to find matte black appliances. So everything needed to be matte black. Kind of got stuck with a small microwave because it's kind of hard to find matte black appliances. Butcher block countertop, just to add a little wood element. Kind of ties in with the stairs. Everything in the house is white or black or wood. It's kind of a unique house. It's kind of nice, it's different. The drywall is one of the things I did best at, I think, which is kind of weird because I'm a steel fabricator. Basically, I did everything in this house except for the concrete and the underground and the rough plumbing. That I paid people to do that. Oh, and the AC system, I paid a guy to weld the line set in and charge it. Other than that, everything else has been done by me, or Amy's helped me quite a bit. Drywall, I hung all the drywall, I framed it, I stood the building. I did pay a buddy of mine to insulate and sheet, which you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. This back wall here, this is like a faux brick. It's masonite, it's $30 a panel, kind of cheesy looking stuff. I built the wall, I put the faux brick on the wall, and then she came in and kind of textured it. It makes kind of an interesting, nice texture on the back wall. The lights, again, I fabricated the bar and stuff. I don't really like how the cords are. We're probably gonna reroute the cords just to kind of clean that up. Just kind of an interesting lighting deal there. Amy's probably gonna have to do a video as she starts decorating because that's kind of her thing. She's into decorating. Bathroom downstairs is same thing, vintage furniture, vessel sink, same faucets that I hate. Dirty vintage mirror, light fixtures. She can explain where she got all that. Same tile pattern. Basic bathroom, nothing real special. This is a closet. It'll just be used to store things. So this is gonna be an Airbnb. So that'll be probably locked. It'll keep supplies in it, linen, supplies, stuff like that. Housekeeper will take care of that stuff. When you're inside the house, it's an interesting house, but it just looks like a house. These columns here were originally supposed to be inside the wall. I don't know, there's about 18 inches from where the wall sits to where the wall was supposed to sit. There was supposed to be 2 footings next to each other here. That didn't really work out, so we ended up with one huge footing about 3 foot wide. It's supposed to be 12 inches deep, but it's really probably 20 inches deep. It's really a deep, big footing. What I asked is this, we could move this wall out, which I moved this wall out as far as we could, and you can see here that this is still really a thick wall. The wall still is like 18 inches thick, which is kind of odd, but you'll see why in a minute. So that wall, if I hadn't moved it in, it would be like a little over 3 feet. It would be a huge wall. So when you open these doors, you know, the door's like 3 foot. So it would have been wall here, which nobody wants that. So it's bad enough the way it is with an 18-inch thick wall. We didn't want 3 feet. Now here's kind of the interesting feature of this house. We're headed into the garage, and the garage is huge. So that's the house. All that sheetrock. It's basically a house in a garage. As we walk around, you can see this is all house. 2 stories high. It's inside of a metal building. So the metal building, Wyatt and I, my son, and my buddy David Navarro, we stood all the framing. We did all the red steel that you see, all that. So we stood all that. And then we came in and I had to frame the house. So before we put the white insulation on and the sheeting on the outside, I came in and framed all the wood walls. So the house is 27 feet by 30 feet by 17 feet tall. It's a full house. You saw inside that it's a full house. So the idea is that when people come here, because we live on the Colorado River, we live in the desert, you can bring basically anything you want. This right here is a 20-foot boat, and in this part of the garage, you could park that boat. You could park that boat again where the forklift is, and then you could park 2 more boats right here next to that. Then, if you really wanted to, you could probably park 4 more of those boats here, which here has RV power. There's a 50 amp plug down here. There's a 30 amp plug. So you could bring in a second family and plug in an RV here where the Bronco's sitting. You could pull right in here. One family could come, stay in the motorhome. They have power, they're inside, the RV's in the shade. The other family could stay in the house. The house is gonna have sleeping for at least 6, hopefully 8. When you come here, you can bring not only a second family, but you could bring your boat, your side-by-side, your off-road car. What I was saying before my SD card so rudely ran out of space. It's Arizona, so you can bring all your guns. You can, like I showed you, camera's probably not gonna pick it up, but right across the street, about a 1/4 mile, there's an airport. So if you fly in, I'll even come pick you up at the airport. It's 3 minutes. Have a place to stay. I think we're gonna put a basketball hoop out here in the shop, somewhere in one of these corners, so you can play basketball outside. There'll be a driveway all the way out to the road, which is like 170 feet. It's a half acre, it's a big property. So the basketball could be played outside. If it's bad weather, basketball can be played inside. We just want it to be a fun place for people to come. We have 4 kayaks, so you can take them down to the river and go kayaking. When you come here, you're gonna have plenty of stuff to do. Guns, off-roading, boating. That's why people come here. And for my friends that have been here, they know why I built this and how often they'll probably use it. You don't know where Fort Mojave, Arizona is or Bullhead City is until you've been here, and then you go, wow, why didn't I live there, or wish I could live there. That's what most of my friends say. I wish I could live here, but really you can. You just got to do it. This is the outside. I'm gonna walk out the back door. So the sheeting that I was talking about, I did pay somebody to do that because it was just more than I could do by myself. It takes, I think it took 4 guys and a bunch of equipment like a week to do that. Quite a bit of work. So here's a small patio that'll be fenced for privacy, and obviously we still need to do landscaping. That big long driveway will go from there on the street all the way along back to that front door. That front door is where the Bronco's sitting right now. This is it. This is what we got going on. It's a metal building. It's interesting. It's different. Hopefully it's different enough that people enjoy it. I enjoyed building it. Really, I kind of built it because I think Amy and I eventually want to build something similar for ourselves. This building's 3,000 square feet. It's 60 by 50. I have a shop at my house that's 60 by 40, and it's not enough for me. I like big garages. So I think what we'll do is we'll build like a 6,000 or 8,000 square foot building, and we will build a loft in one whole end of it. Maybe like 25 or 30 feet by the width of the building, which would probably be 60 feet. But not a lot of walls or anything, just basically a big studio. Everything be open, and she already wants to move into this one, so I think that'll fly. So anyways, if this works out, if it rents out good, if I can get people to understand the concept of it, the being able to bring all your toys on vacation, not only all your toys, but your friends' toys, and you find that we have some of the best off-roading in the country, I think. We leave here sometimes in side-by-sides and buggies, and we'll go 300 miles from here, and we'll come back, and some of the best riding is right here within 15 miles. It's 20 minutes to get to the casinos. The closest launch ramp is probably the Avi Casino, and then there's some Indian beaches, and you can launch there. They're 10 minutes away, but you can launch Jack Smith Park in Needles. People that are familiar with the river know what that's about. That's 20 minutes from here. Lake Mojave is just straight that way. Probably 25 minutes to Catherine Landing. It's a good location. It's an hour to Havasu. It's an hour and 20 minutes to Las Vegas. I think today's 117 degrees, and plants don't like to start in 117 degrees. It's very hard to find plants that will work in 117 degrees, but even those ones that do work, they don't want to start in 117. Landscaping, I'm not sure how much we're gonna get done before we start renting it. We're trying to start renting it before Labor Day. I don't know. We'll probably get some rock on the ground, and hopefully we get that long driveway done. That's probably about as far as we're gonna get until fall before we can put plants and stuff in. Anyways, let me know if you would stay here, if you're interested in it. So that's kind of the concept.
Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below.